Have you ever felt not good enough? And you think to yourself, well, what does being good enough really mean? And what do I mean when I say it to myself? There might be some questions you might ask, like, what makes you feel not enough? And why do you feel like your goals and dreams will never happen when you don't feel good enough? This was something that I thought about. Even people who don't struggle with a mental health illness have moments in their lives where they don't feel good enough. But for us who suffer, there are multiple times throughout our lives that we just simply don't feel like we're good enough or will ever be good enough or that we can make the people around us happy. And it got me to the thought of this would make an actually a good episode to talk about. So something I thought about is that it's never going to be about how much you work or how hard you try or if you're present enough. It's about truly who you are. You have to learn that you are enough just the way you are right now in this moment, and nothing about you needs to change at all. You should just be you. Why do we think that if we do more or be more or if we buy more things, this is going to change who we're meant to be really and how people are going to look at us? But really, that's never going to make a difference. No matter what you do, no matter if you think you change who you are or you switch the way you do things or you dress differently or you talk differently or you do all these things. And sometimes I feel like we do all these things because we feel like we should do all these things so people think we're good enough. So sometimes it's not even that we don't think we're good enough, it's that other people think we're not good enough. And what sucks is when you think other people think you're not good enough on top of feeling not good enough, and that's just like a whole storm of emotions. So being enough does not mean you are all powerful or perfect either. Nobody's perfect. No one has all the power. Nobody has all the questions to all the answers in this world. So I just think it's crazy that for some reason, when we pursue enough, that doesn't mean either that you need anyone or anything. So don't get me wrong. You absolutely can love to have people in your life and have things around, but it doesn't mean that you need them. Like, there's times that you can just be you and not need other people to feel like you're you. See, it simply means that you understand how much you need, how small you are in this great, grand universe, and that you don't have to be an inch bigger than you are right now. So I think we think that when we're not enough, and if other people think we're not enough, then we need to be bigger than what we are. We need to be that inch, a tiny inch bigger than what we are, when in reality, that's just like, it's not going to change. It's not going to change how people perceive you, and it's definitely not going to change how you perceive you. So if you think that you just keep doing these things and eventually you'll feel enough, I promise you it's not going to be like that. It's not going to be like one day you're just going to feel enough. It's something you have to work on, and you have to really work on it yourself and realize that you are fine the way you are. Like, it's okay to want to make small changes here and there throughout your life, but when we're making these big dramatic changes because we feel like this is what's going to make me feel enough and this is going to make me feel like I mean more to the world, it's those big things that'll make us spiral backwards and just keep making us feel like we are never going to be enough. It also does not mean that you don't need help. When you know you are enough, it is easier to ask for help. You know that you're imperfect and you have imperfections, and your difficulties don't reflect your worth because you already are enough just the way you are. So that's something too to think about, is that when you know who you are and you know that you have imperfections and that you're not perfect and you are finally okay with that, it can be easier at those points to ask for help. And in those moments, it could be easier to admit that you have weaknesses. When we have like a lot of pride in ourselves and we're taught that showing weaknesses aren't welcome or we shouldn't do that, then we feel like we need to just hide that. And with hiding that, we're hiding who we are and who we're meant to be. And then that can start to make you feel like, I am never going to be good enough to be who I truly am meant to be. I'm not going to be good enough to be that artist or be that singer or be that writer or do my job well or socialize with people. Whatever it is, like, it's going to hold you back. So I want you to realize that we all make mistakes. All of us on this planet. I've definitely made so many different mistakes in my life. And I'm aware that I have flaws. And that it doesn't mean that my flaws define who I am. It just means that I've acknowledged them and I know they're there. So if being enough meant being perfect, then feeling like we are enough is just another reason to hide our true selves from others. Most of the time when people hear or are asked if they feel like they are enough, mostly we feel like we aren't enough because we aren't perfect, which means we're not enough or that we should just hide who we really are. Being enough means that you were made to be you, as you, on purpose. This is another thing that I think is so crazy, is that when we feel like we have to hide who we are, we're not enough to be who we are, then nobody out there will ever get to know the true us. They'll never get to know who we are on the inside and what we're about and what we love to do and our passions and our hobbies and the things like we love to share with the world, because we're too busy hiding who we really are from the world. And then that can make you even more feel like you're not good enough. So I think if we learn that we're good enough just the way we are, then we can start sharing our true selves with everybody, and we won't feel like we constantly have to hide who we're meant to be in this world. I want you to know that it is not a mistake that you are the person you are. In the place that you're in right now in your life, you are enough just as you are, messy and all, beautiful and broken, showing up every day as 100% yourself. That's all you ever had to do because you're already enough. Being enough means that you can constantly grow and continue to become who you're really meant to be. Being enough doesn't mean you have to change anything about yourself. It means you're able to just be yourself, just the way you are. You were enough before, you are enough now, and you will continue to be enough as you become more of who you are made to be. I know that some people aren't religious, but it just, in my mind, makes me think God made you who you are. The ugly and the good, the beautiful and the broken. No matter what you struggle with, no matter what you go through in your life, you're meant to be who you are. You're not meant to hide who you are from this world. You're not meant to be and act like someone else so other people will accept you and will let you in their lives. No. If you're weird, you're weird. If you're nerdy, you're nerdy. If you come off as somebody who everybody just thinks is so quiet and stuff, maybe those people are quiet and stuff because they don't feel like they're good enough to be themselves, because you've maybe made them feel like they can't be themselves. That's like the worst thing in the world, is not being able to be who you are. And something that I posted on Instagram, I think last week, is that the world tells you to be you, but then they judge you for who you are. And because you're being judged for who you are, then you feel like you're not good enough to be you. Well, if the world is going to constantly judge me for being me, then I'm just not going to be me. I'm going to be somebody that people want to be around and that people want to hang out with. And it shouldn't be like that. You should just be able to be yourself and feel good enough to be yourself. Most of us experience not enough thinking at some points. Sometimes it's belief and fleeting. Other times, not enough thinking can lead to worry, anxiety, self-loathing, and decreased confidence. See, the reality of not enough beliefs is that you are not reality. You are actually distorted and inaccurate proportions of yourself. Often these beliefs are based on what we've been taught by others. The truth is that we have been deceived. The reality is we are enough as we are. Nothing can change that. We can overcome these beliefs that we are not enough by developing what's often referred to as an abundance mindset. An abundance mindset is the belief that we are enough as we are right now. An abundant mindset gives us the opportunity to grow beyond where we're at because we are no longer held back by those limiting beliefs. It is setting us up to achieve those things we desire, whether love or success or beauty. So maybe we can try these 3 steps to help us become more who we think and we know we're supposed to be. Notice your small victories. What can you celebrate today? Express gratitude for what you have rather than focus on what you don't have. 2, stop comparing yourself to others. Comparing yourself to others reforms the disordered, unhelpful beliefs we hold. Each of us is uniquely extraordinary. You are the only one who can be all you and enough of you and already you. And number 3 is to love yourself unconditionally. Choose to let yourself be enough right now. Don't beat yourself up for the mistakes or your failures. We all make them. We all have them. Start to view them as opportunities to grow and learn. Remember that 3, some of us were taught 5-second rule when it comes to picking up food off the floor. Conference note speaker Dr. Jeanette Lapp suggests we adopt these similar strategies to those moments when we start to beat ourselves up. Take 3 to 5 seconds, then let it go. Remember that you are enough as you are. Begin to think about how you can start experiencing feelings associated with abundance, like success, happiness, and love, without needing anything from the outside to change. Consider ways that you might reframe or shift the way you think, what you focus on, your lifestyle, and your actions so you can experience these things. Being grateful for your life as it is doesn't mean giving up your dreams and desires. You will notice that the more you love and appreciate who you are and what you have, the more you will attract. You are already good enough. Nothing can change that. As you are, just being, you are enough. If I say that I'm beautiful, if I say that I'm strong, you will not determine my story. I will. So after listening to this episode, I want you to realize that today, right now, in this moment, you are enough. No matter what society's told you, no matter what your family's told you, no matter what anybody out there has told you, you are enough just as you are. You are and were put on this planet to be you, 100% you. You don't have to change who you are for anybody and become someone you don't want to be. Don't let other people judge and make you feel less than. Because today, right now, in this moment, you are enough just the way you are. And like always, I want you guys to remember that you are never alone, and that I love you just the way you are, because you are enough. Hey guys, I hope you really enjoyed this episode and can learn that you are enough and powerful and beautiful and handsome just the way you are today. Also, it would be so great if you could share this episode with someone who needs to hear it, or someone that you know needs that pick-me-up to know they're just enough. Hey, and another thing you could do is maybe share it on social media with your friends and your family and your community to help grow this podcast and help me reach people who might need to hear this message today and might not know they need to. So help me grow this community that I know you love, and I know that you can't wait to hear the next episode. So I will catch you next time.